Anxious attachment healing. If you're an anxious attachment girly and you get really attached to guys and almost feel kind of sick if they're not calling you, texting you back, or you're not hearing from them, here's what you need to know. By the way, I used to not be able to sleep at night if I didn't get a text back from a guy that I like, so I understand completely what it's like to be anxious. So the thing you need to understand if you want to heal from anxious attachment is he cannot solve these feelings, okay? Say it with me. He cannot solve these feelings. So at the root of anxious attachment is the idea that another person can solve your anxiety, your feelings. If I hear from them, I'm not going to feel anxious. If I feel certain about them, I'm not going to feel anxious. If I know that they like me, I'm not going to feel not good enough. Anxious attachment has to do with trying to get other people out there to do something so you feel better. And if you understand that he can't fix these feelings for me, that's the first step to anxious attachment healing. So the second you feel that like craving for him, that needing him, that I need the text, I need the attention, I need the security, that should be your sign to stop, disconnect from him. He can't solve this feeling. And where do you have to go to fix the feeling? You have to go within. And there's a line from A Course in Miracles that can really help you here. It says, I am never upset for the reason that I think. So you're not upset because the guy's not calling you back. You're not upset because you're dating an avoidant man. You're not upset because of that. You're really upset because of the disconnection within. I'm not saying all guys are innocent, but when you're going to heal from anxious attachment, you realize that you can't solve the problem through him. You have to solve it through yourself. So if you're never upset for the reason that you think, and the real reason is disconnection, then the first thing you have to do is put your hand over your heart and ask yourself, like, what am I really feeling here? What am I really feeling disconnected from here? Typically, it's not really that guy. It's that you think somehow that if that guy doesn't call me back, then I'm never going to find love, or you are worried that you're not lovable or you're not good enough. And so the real disconnection has to do with your relationship with yourself, and sometimes it's actually higher. It has to do with your relationship with the universe or God itself. So if you feel disconnected from him, you got to ask yourself, where am I disconnecting from myself? Am I disconnecting from my own lovability? Do I not trust that I'm lovable? Am I not doing enough things for myself and my life doesn't feel good, so I'm like craving for him? Where is the disconnection within? And then you have to give yourself what you need. Maybe it's a bath, maybe it's time with friends, maybe it's just sitting on the couch and vegging, but doing it in a really loving way so you feel like you're nurturing yourself. You got to plug the hole within yourself, and you're not going to want to do it. Your anxious attachment brain's going to go, he can solve the problem. You're not going to want to focus on yourself, but you have to focus on yourself. And then if you're a spiritual person and you believe in God, you can take it even further. So if I'm upset about this guy, if I'm craving this guy, then what's happening within me? I'm feeling not lovable. I'm feeling not good enough. I'm feeling afraid. I'm never going to find love. If he doesn't text me back, that somehow means that I'm not lovable and I'm never going to find love. But if you're feeling not lovable, if you're worried you're never going to find love, if you're putting all your hopes and dreams on this one person and strangling that, it's because on some level, you do not trust. You don't trust that God, universe has got you. You don't fundamentally trust that you have this desire for great love and it'll be satisfied. So often, anxious attachment is really about a disconnection between you and the higher source, where you feel like somehow you're left out, you're singled out, you're hoping and wishing for things, but the God that you believe in is not going to play a hand in giving it to you. So to heal this, you got to get out of your human eyes and you got to step into divine eyes. And you have to ask yourself, okay, I'm stressing out about my love life or about this guy, and I'm kind of doubting that I'm never going to find love. And so I want this guy to prove to me that I'm worthy or call me back so I feel like I have hope. But how does the universe, divine, how does God see me? Try and put yourself in that position where you go, okay, if there was an angel or divine energy here and they were looking at my love life, what would they see? Would they see an end point in the future where I find love? Probably you already know the answer is yes. And so you got to reconnect to that truth that the divine is on your side and helping you receive the love that you want. And when you connect to that truth and you really feel loved by something higher than you, that's really the biggest healing there is for anxious attachment. You can't solve it through that guy. You got to go to yourself and usually higher. And the crazy thing is, a lot of times when you do this, when you realize, oh, the disconnect isn't with him, like I'm not really craving him, I'm craving my own self-love, I'm craving my own connection to the divine and to trust that I'm going to receive the things I want in my life. And when you do the steps to restore that and build yourself up, the crazy thing is, often you're like, oh, wait a minute, why am I stressing about that guy? He's not even that great in the first place. So I want you to realize that anxious attachment can be a gift because it's showing you through your body, through the anxiety, where you're disconnected from yourself or where you're disconnected from the divine. It's giving you a signal that you need to connect. So every time you feel that anxious attachment, that craving, that, oh my God, I'm gonna die if I don't hear back from this guy. I know it sounds crazy, but love those feelings, because you are getting a very strong signal of your disconnection, which means you're getting an opportunity to heal that disconnection. And ultimately, when you heal that disconnection, I promise you, love that is so much better than anything you've imagined will come. And guess what? You won't feel scared. You won't feel anxious. You'll feel safe, because when you've created that safety within, that connection within, that connection to something higher, and you feel safe within, you attract in somebody who's very safe. You're not going to feel anxious or crazy with them. You're just going to feel loved.